What's going on, everyone, and welcome to the off-season recap and preseason look ahead for our Out of the Park Baseball Montreal Expos OOTP 25 series. So without further ado, we're just going to jump right into it. We are going to cover things that occurred during the off-season. We're going to cover our moves, cover our player acquisitions, and we're just going to see how things go. So first things first, let's come right over here. We signed Nick Lodolo to a minor league deal. I really like the signing. He might be in our major league team. It's got an option, so he could be gone after 30 days. I kept this one here. Freddie Freeman to the Dodgers. Not a shock. $30 million a year for a 38-year-old, though. That is kind of a shock. Our scouts actually discovered an independent league player. So Joe Brubaker, 26-year-old, great defender, great defensive second baseman. Our scouts discovered him. He's on the Royals. The Royals scouts discovered him. So, interesting. I kept him because I thought he was on our team. So, you know what? Sorry about that, guys. Nothing to be excited about there. We did sign Castellanos to a cheap deal, $2.5 million. Unfortunately, it looks like he might be tanking in ratings. So when we signed him, there was a little bit more blue here against lefties and a little bit more green here against righties. So that is actually really unfortunate. Let's take a look at scouting here. Yeah, you can see right there his power has dropped since our last scouting report. This one came in on February 11th, unfortunately. So that's actually a bummer, guys. I was excited when we signed Castellanos. By the way, as of filming this, I don't know if you guys saw, he hit a home run yesterday. The same day that, another world event happened. So Castellanos and hitting home runs on the same day as world events is just incredible. But unfortunately, it looks like he might not even make our team. Might just be $2.5 million down the drain. Couple defensive trainings that went really well. Jeremy Rodriguez improved defensively, so he's looking like a star now. He could really help us fill in for the Blaze Alexander hole that may occur. Braden Montgomery improved defensively, although his ratings didn't change at all. So it's probably under the hood. Probably just wasn't enough to signal a full ratings change, but that's cool that he improved. And Amberis Tavares improved as well. Once again, could help us fill the Blaze Alexander hole, looking very, very stout, especially against lefties. So as you can see, Chase Dollander, we acquired him. So this was our really only big move of the offseason. It was a pretty boring offseason aside from acquiring Chase Dollander. So we come down here. We acquired Chase Dollander from the Rockies. We sent them Marcos Dings, a left fielder who was a right fielder with us. Left fielder, 24 years old, not that good, kind of a 4A player. Hunter Brown, young pitcher that we had, who pitched very well last year. I think his value was a little inflated with last year's stats. Randy Palmer, so the number 1 overall pick from 2026, if I do recall. Yep, number 1 overall pick from 2026. Still a top 100 prospect, number 53. His stuff has kind of cratered, though, so that's why we were looking to move him, because honestly, we haven't seen a whole ton of positive development here through 2 years, so we just wanted to move on from him. Rosell Shepard, another high pick from that 2026 draft. We got him in the 4th round. He was a top 100 prospect. He was actually a really good shortstop, really fast, great defensively. But, same deal, just hasn't really developed. So if I could have one nitpick with OOTP's base settings at least, it would just be this. It's just that simply, I feel like drafted players don't develop fast enough. IFAs don't develop fast enough. I think the bust to hit ratio is accurate, but I even have, development spiked up a little bit here. But I feel like the ratio of guys that are able to play in the majors at 20, 21, 22 is just not high enough, whereas nowadays you have those young guys coming up all the time. Not anything we're going to mess with in the save here. Something that if we were to do another out-of-the-park save, we might play around with it. And then just Yukichi Takamatsu, so a power-hitting left fielder. He wasn't going to break into our major league roster, unfortunately, but in Colorado with that power, he might be able to do some special things. So we got Alfredo Ventura, an IAFA center fielder. He's going to be a corner outfielder more than a center fielder. I really like him, though. Great contact potential, got power potential. Could be really good. He's got the size at 6'2". Hall of Fame voting results. 4 players were inducted. You got Albert Pujols. I think he's going to be a first ballot. Carlos Beltran in his 6th year. Yadier Molina, I think he's going to be a first ballot. And then Robinson Cano. Robinson Cano will not be a first ballot in real life because he does have the PED test. But I don't think he'll get in because of that if the voting style doesn't change at least. They really hammer the PED guys. Pettick dropped off. Hamels dropped off. Utley dropped off. David Wright. Edwin Encarnacion. A-Rod's still right there. K-Rod's still right there. K-Rod, Felix Hernandez, not Felix Rodriguez. Felix Hernandez, King Felix is still right there. Posey actually fell a little bit. Price is a lot higher than I expected. Lester, Rollins, Kemp, Burley. There's K-Rod. So we left this here. Dylan Cease did sign with the Guardians. $40 million deal for what, 1 year, 2 years? Oh, they got him cheap. Only 13.9. He turned down the qualifying offer to sign for less. Ooh, that's unfortunate for him. But that's great for us. It netted us a 2nd round pick. We got Reese Olson on a minor league deal. I think he could be up in the majors for us. We got Drew Thorpe on a minor league deal. He could totally be up in the majors for us. A couple more trainings here. J.P. Crawford successfully improved at second base. Unfortunately, he is kind of fallen out of favor as well as far as age and ratings go. Tyler Bremner didn't improve. Mike Drake didn't improve. Doug Olson did improve. Doug Olson's looking like a pretty solid middle infielder for us here. So that is that. We're going to take a look at the pitching staff, the lineups. We're just going to go over what we're thinking. So pitching staff's going to be pretty run-of-the-mill for us here. Dolander, Gore, Rocker. That's where the top 3 are going to be. Green's going to be in there. I think Green's actually going to be number 3. Rocker's going to be number 4. It's that 5th starter where things will get interesting. Is it going to be Reese Olson? Is it going to be Jack Leiter? Emmett Sheehan could be in the running. Drew Thorpe could definitely be in the running. Puck's going to be our closer. Ferguson in the stopper role once again. Gill at the setup. We'll figure everything out from there. Jake Madden, minor league signing from early in the save. He could be making some appearances on the MLB team this year. Lineup-wise, pretty simple lineups. We're going to go Harry Ford and Kyle Teal. Teal's going to be catcher against righties. Ford's going to be third base against righties. This is where I don't think Bryant's not going to be our first baseman. He did actually scout a little bit better in the most recent update than he was looking, but I still don't think he's going to be taking the field for us. Blades is going to be second. Elly short. Seager is probably going to actually be first or DH. He unfortunately fell down a little bit too against lefties. He really cratered. Oh no, Corey Seager. Tavares here might slot in against lefties, if I'm being totally honest. Looks like Seager is kind of cratering a little bit as we come up here to ratings. Yeah, he's not really super usable against lefties anymore, unfortunately. Tavares could be slotting in for a spot there. Condon's going to be an outfielder, I think. Carter's going to be an outfielder. Braden's going to be an outfielder. We might actually be slotting Condon down to first at times. And we did pick up Enrique Bradfield in a little ticky-tack trade. Not a major deal at all. It was for Juan Garza. Oh, actually, it was a pretty decent deal. Juan Garza's a solid prospect. San Miguel, Davey Cruz. We lost Jose Soriano and Nishio. Nishio's actually might be a bigger loss now that Seager's cratering against lefties. But we got Bradfield, kind of just a Brenton Doyle type player. Max Clark is actually developing a little bit here, so we might give him some MLB run, number 51 prospect. He had been struggling. I don't want to jinx it, but he hadn't really been developing a ton in Detroit or here with us in Montreal, but hopefully as a 23-year-old, if we give him some spring training at bats and we give him some MLB run, hopefully he'll start to put it together. But that's really that there. As we come on over front office, we got some money, but not a ton. We got to consider the contracts we have signed already. Player development, we have a bunch of top 100 guys, but really no elite prospects. Ethan Holliday's our top guy, but he's same boat, same theme. Not really reaching his potential here. Let's come over to prospect pipeline super quick. Chandler Hart is the top dog. Alfredo DeLoya looks to be moving a little bit. Lucas Ramirez looks to be moving a little bit. Polanco, DJ Carrender, Borgman, Niera, Fidel Romero, Grady Emerson. Just a whole lot of stagnation here, it seems like. We're not going to mess with anything, like I said. We're already 4 seasons in, 3 seasons in, 4 in. We're 4 in. So it's too late to kind of play with it, but we'll just see how it goes, hopefully. Hopefully it's not a huge deal or concern. Billy Perry here. Billy Perry could be really good. He was the 2nd overall pick. He's out in Utah. We're going to come in here. We're going to look at league history. We're just going to look at the history index. We're going to look at some of the accomplishments we haven't covered in a while. 3 homer games. Not worth going through all these because it's common enough. 6 hit games. Only 2 so far. Casas in 24. Royce Lewis in 27. 15 K games. Only 4 so far. We got Spino in 25. Steele in 25. Yamamoto in 26. And Noah Schultz in 27. How about cycles? Ooh, a fair few cycles. Got Lee, Naylor. Is Lee retired now? Pascaltino, Tucker, Marte, Colson, Wyatt, Adel, Tatis, Tucker, Myers. So Tucker's got 2. Myers, Henderson, McCray, Lawler, and Josh Lowe. Josh Lowe, good for him. No hitters. Carson Palmquist. I don't even know who Carson. Free agent signing in 2024. Released by Colorado in 2024. 4 days later, signed by the Mets. Turns into a very good pitcher. That's funny. Skubal had 1. Jackson Wolf had 1. Yamamoto, Mizorowski, Crochet. Crochet's is in huge asterisk, though. It only went 5 innings. 50 homer seasons. Starting to be pretty common. We've had 3 each of the last 2 years. It's been almost the exact same 3. Ohtani and Langford in both. Then Elly and Basallo each in 1. 150 RBI seasons. None. Elly did have 149 last year, I believe. Yeah, 149. 20 wins. No one since that first year. Fried and Severino that first year. Triple crowns. Wyatt Langford last year. Milestones. Too many here to cover. Hitting streaks. We got the longest hitting streak was a 28-gamer by Spencer Steer. We're going to cover the team history here, so let's come over quick. We'll look at the team leaders for batters and pitchers, just see if there's anything crazy. Condon is up top a lot here. Evan Carter, Charlie Condon, Elly Condon, Elly and Condon. Elly Condon, Elly Condon. Elly, Blaze, Condon, Elly, Blaze, Carter, Condon, Elly, Blaze, Condon, Carter. Yep, makes sense. Games is actually still Chris Bryant, Blaze is 2nd. Runs is Elly, that makes sense. Hits is Condon, career hits is Chris Bryant. Home runs, we got Elly, Adolis, Condon, and Bryant. Elly's the only one to break 100 so far. Just kind of scrolling through these. You guys can stop and read whichever ones you would like. We'll come back up to pitchers. For wins, it's actually Kumar Rocker. Dylan C 2nd. Ferguson's up there. Pepiot, Soriano. That's interesting. I didn't think Rocker was actually doing that well, but I guess he's been with us for, I think, 3 seasons now. 3.5 seasons now, so. Save is going to be Puck. Yep, he's been our primary closer for 3 years. War is Dylan Cease. Shutouts. Complete games is Jack Leiter. Jack Leiter, good for you. Alex Fado still has the only no-hitter in team history. That's awesome. Let's come on over. Strikeouts. We got Pepiot, Ferguson, Rocker, Cease. There we go. So that is spring training. When we check back in next time, it's going to be the opening day. We're going to look at the preseason preview. We're going to plan out the roster for opening day. And we will hopefully be making our 3rd straight playoff appearance. Thank you guys for tuning in. See you guys next time.